Welcome back. If you have watched my videos up to this point, thank you for your support. So without hesitation, let's dive right back in, shall we? Bloodlines, Chupacabra, Chapter 7, Part 2, The Door. Cal looked genuinely concerned. I am so very sorry. I can't imagine how that must have affected you. Sandra, however, was not quite convinced. That would help us out, and I don't think that we should go without backup. I mean, come on, 4 against that thing, and it might actually have killed Laura for all we know. Larry was looking at his watch. Well, the sun is getting low. Ted, we should head on. We don't want to be caught outside at night, especially not tonight. Larry, just a question. Why exactly? And I don't mean to be skeptical at this point, after everything we have all gone through, but I have to ask. Exactly. We have no idea what we are walking into, so are we in danger? Says Cal, actually looking a bit worried. Larry knew that it would be hard to convince them. Cal, let's get into the Jeep. I'll tell you both on the way. I just want to get moving before sundown, which is in 2 hours. It's just a walk through. The real event doesn't happen until midnight tomorrow, and we need to survey a bit, too, see if there has been any activity first. There will be signs. The look on Sandra's face had been plain for all to see. She had gotten the brunt of it, and it was her they truly needed to convince in order to fight it. Cal just looked at him sideways. That's a very vague response, but if you say so, let's book it. Denton, the town we are heading to, was once a busy center hub for trade and farming. As you can see, this is what it has been reduced to. Most left, and those that stayed are no less scared of this creature that we are. Larry further explained how the town, a place called Denton, had a rich history in gold mining, and had once been a very prosperous area until the 1970s, when people started to disappear. Most believed they had simple runoff. As the trio took off in the Jeep, barreling down the road, they soon approached a small run-down town with just a few houses still standing. As Larry drives them down through a secluded off-road to where his grandfather's house once stood, an eerie cloud that seemed to cover the town, almost swallowing it whole, hovered above them. As they drove through, both Cal and Sandra noticed the boarded-up windows on so many abandoned houses that once thrived in the center of town, now empty and dark, where lives had once filled the houses, now stood as reminders of what had been. Larry grunted as he turned the steering wheel. Here we are, pulling the Jeep alongside an abandoned cafe. When they had driven past the 8 remaining houses, they could see a few people scurrying inside and slamming the doors behind them. The residents that remained, clearly in fear of what had been holding the town in the clouded darkness, folding it hostage, that same dark cloud that followed them as they drove. Though the travelers stare at the burnt-out wreck that was once a working, stately farm on the very edge of town. The large stone house, now reduced to rubble and charcoal. Beams that held the ceiling and roof fallen in on the floor, caving it inward. They then set off to the ban, around the eastern side of the farm. There, now just a burnt-out husk attached to the old house, exposing the cellar below. There, just beneath it, the wrap-around porch completely unsafe, and the stairs to the front door missing. They'd have to climb around and down to get into the structure, and every move, not knowing if it would collapse, weighed in the back of Larry's mind. The 4 of them walk around, surveying the scene, taking in their surroundings, and both Cal and Sandra awe of what must have happened here, and why the farm, the barn, had burnt, leaving a shell of its former life lingered in their minds. Larry looks at his campers. Now that you've seen this, how do you feel? Sandra looked around, noticing a window just above the caved-in floor. A faint shaft of fading sunlight fell upon a small door underneath the last few floorboards, illuminating it to the left, just enough as a rush of emotions set in, causing her to back away. Larry, watching her body language, knew instantly she could feel the presence behind it, and what lay beyond that door was what they had come together for, to understand this creature that had taken a town under and left it in fear and hollowed. Sandra looked an even paler shade of pale, if that were actually possible. I feel like we shouldn't be here. It's cold and I feel sick. I don't want to be here right now. Seriously, I really want to go. I understand. I really do, say Larry, as he puts his hands in his pockets nervously. The sun is starting to set. We're losing light quickly now, so we actually should. We'll be back in the morning anyway. Sandra, I am sorry we have to come back, but I promise you it's not here. Her face shifted from pale to green. She felt her inner fight or flight as her anxiety stirred within. Okay, I am only willing because of what that thing may, or may not, have done with Laura. Larry, walking alongside Sandra, pulls her aside and tells her, though the creature is not here, they are going through the wreckage in the morning. It is the only choice that they have. It will draw it out. Larry was trying hard to be careful that the others were not within an earshot, explained. It would draw the creature to them. From that door, a portal to another realm, he believed the pits of hell itself. Sandra, not wanting it to get the best of her, with a heavy feeling in her chest, knew she had to follow through. She wasn't going to wuss out or run away this time. Father Flanagan and Cal not in agreement, and the four of them quickly received back to the jeep to a motel near the church for the night. In the midst of leaving the burnt and shattered ruins of the old farm and the barn, once inside of the vehicle, Sandra thought over how she had immediately noticed the remnants of the door in the barn the man had mentioned in his tale in the previous months during that fateful night. Still, she couldn't shake the fear it instilled within her very being. It felt against nature and all logic that this creature could exist within their world. At the motel, all four settled into their own rooms. Larry had gladly footed the bill since Sandra and Cal had shown up for this venture, so he was more than grateful and didn't hesitate to do so. Sandra was unable to settle in, let alone sleep that night. Taking a shower, she slumped down into the tub, arms wrapped around her knees, gently sobbing and mulling over the innate, overwhelming sense of fear, the burnt-out shell of the farmhouse and old cellar beneath the barn replaying in her mind. And that damn door, God damn it, she thought, that door is what has me so on edge. There is something evil emanating from it. Cal, on the other hand, didn't feel quite as uneased as his friend did. He sat back against the headboard of his bed, watching Investigation Discovery on TV. There was a documentary playing about serial killer Eileen Wuornos, and Cal was quite content eating a sandwich from the vending machine outside. It looked good, so he figured it was worth the risk. Plus it was quite tasty. Both Larry and Father Flanagan had a room together, a double bed, and since Larry was known to snore, Father Ted, as Larry loved to refer to his old friend, as knew, and had made sure that he brought along noise-canceling headphones and earplugs. Larry didn't mind, and he was already fast asleep by the time 9 p.m. rolled around. By 10 p.m., Cal and Father Flanagan were fast asleep. Cal, having taken melatonin, was loudly snoring away, so loud that Sandra could actually hear him through the wall, given her bed's headboard set up against the wall, with his just on in the other room. She didn't sleep much that night. End Bloodlines Chupacabra. Chapter 7, Part 2. The Door. If you are enjoying this, please hit the like and subscribe button for notifications every time I upload new chapter content, and thank you for listening. Take care and stay safe.